That is true. All right, so our relationship topic today, and we have our special guest Sheila on here, is what are the three main ingredients to making a marriage last? Because divorce rate is at an all-time high. And just to give the people just a quick backstory, in the 80s, marriage was at 78%. It's now down to 48%, present day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's more than half. Like, I tell you something personally. Like, at my place of work, you know what I mean, part of my thing is, you know, if you get married, I change your name to your new married name. If you get divorced, I turn it back to your maiden name. The ratio is almost 2 to 1, sometimes 3 to 1, depending on the month, of divorces compared to successful marriages. It's so rapid. So I would be honest, before we continue, I just wanted to say, you and your husband, you know, happy anniversary to y'all. I'll say it, you know, in front of the world. You just celebrated your 20th anniversary. And you're pretty much the greatest marriage I ever seen. And what are some of the key ingredients to keep these marriages alive and happy?
Well, first I want to thank you both for congratulating us. And it was such an honor when you all asked me to do a marriage portion. Of course, I was nervous, and I said, well, what would I say? But being married 20 years, I'll just share with you from experience, not just being married, but being happily married. You can be together and still be unhappy. But my main ingredient is putting God first. And I know everybody is not there, so it's other things that you can do as well. But God is first in our lives. And I'm going to talk about marriage in this manner on today. And with marriage, I always say loving each other, that is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Love is the core. Love is a decision to be committed to a person. So you have to go in your marriage with the intent of, this right here, I'm going to do, and we going to stick and stay. That was something I said to my husband when we met, because I had already been through a relationship or relationships and stuff like that. And I said, baby, we're going to get married. But I'm telling you right now, don't marry me if we're not going to stick and stay. So when you go in, you have to go in with an intent and a determination that we're going to last. And marriage is far more than an emotion. And sometimes when we watch television, especially women, we're very emotional. When we watch television, movies, and read romance novels, we get a good idea. It might be a good idea, a great idea to get married, and that's just how I want my marriage. But I'm letting you know right now, it's a decision to be committed through the ups and downs, and you just the good and the bad. And guess what? They're going to come, because it's a life journey. And when things are going well, it's easy. But can you really keep your commitment when things are not well? But you have to be determined to remain committed through the trials. Trials going to come. Tribulation is going to come in a marriage, because you're two people. You have two different mindsets sometimes. Like me, I was strong-willed when I met my husband. And submission, it was just, oh, my God, like a curse word to me. I was like, wait a minute. We're in this together. We 50-50. Of course, yes, we're 50-50, but my husband has to have a voice in my house. He just has to, because he's the king of the castle. And love often requires a sacrificial gift. I say gift because guess what? It's hard to sacrifice. But if you're a person that's self-absorbed, or it's just me, myself, and I, you're going to have a problem in the marriage department. You have to sacrifice. Just simply mean you are not going to always have your way all the time. And that was one of my issues. My daddy, I was a daddy's girl. He kind of gave me what I wanted, what I needed. If he had it, I can get it. He spent a lot of time with me when I was small. So to hear my husband say no sometime, well, I was like, really? I mean, and we just have to know that you have to sacrifice this for vice versa. And to me, there are many ingredients to a marriage, but I'm going to talk about three main ingredients that can help a marriage last. And I'm just taking it from three that I've been helping people along with when they come for counseling or call for advice. And number one, I want to talk about first, communication. A successful marriage partnership, they communicate well as much as possible. Try to talk about everything that you can. You'll find that you have to talk about and discuss your kids' schedule if you have children, your grocery list, your utility bills. Don't stop there. Communicate about your hopes, your dreams, your fears, and your anxieties. And I always tell my husband, you the man, but you don't have to always hold that in. I want to hear your vulnerabilities. I want to know where I can strengthen you at. That's what makes the marriage work. And I often advise people, when people come to me, to discuss the changes that are taking place in their hearts and in their souls. Because sometimes when you with your partner for a long time, by you maturing, right, and getting knowledge and wisdom in different areas, things change, and I may feel different about something that I used to be okay with. So I think that my advice would be talk about it. Don't wait till you're bored with your partner. Don't wait till the light has gone out, and then you having issues, and you go searching. Well, maybe I should have told it. No, or I should have told him. Go ahead, discuss it. That I'm telling you, your communication makes, I'm telling you, a great difference. And this is an essential key that cannot be overlooked because, excuse me, because honestly, I'm going to tell you like this, communication becomes the foundation to so many things that's needed in a marriage. Mm-hmm. It's the foundation. The second is respect. Honor one another. Be intentional. Again, let it be your intent to honor your mate. In many ways, when love seems to come and go, and what I mean by that, you know how you're in a heated argument or something that one of you all do that you don't like, and it becomes habitual or something you're continuing to do, and you don't like it, and then you be like, they get on my nerve. But that's what I'm saying. You have to be intentional, but respect each other. And you have to give each other space to grow. And let me give you an example. My husband sometimes, he would say, baby, I don't like when you do. I don't like when I ask you for something and you hide your money. I don't do that to you. And I used to look at him because he gave me everything I wanted. What you talking about? And I would just ignore him and continue the behavior. But when I realized that it was abrasive or getting on his nerve, I had to make a change. I had to become intentional. I had to make it my business, my intent to change. Oh, baby, do you need anything? I had to become more caring about him too. And instead of me fussing, yapping back, you get on my nerves. Sometimes we call each other things. I'm telling you, in relationships, you begin to say things that you do not mean. Why? Because you in anger. You have had a heated discussion. But that's why I'm telling you, God had to deal with me because I was having problems with being submissive. And some of the girls on the phone, if you're married, I know submission is hard because submission, you have to come up under. That means I have to listen to somebody sometimes. But submission is not a rulership. If your husband loves you, he understands that it's not a rulership. It's not for him to dominate you, but he should be your, the authority figure in your home. Not that you don't have any authority, but you have to let a man be a man. If you don't, it's going to be a problem. Especially if you plan to go years and have a long, happy relationship. I don't want to not be happy with a partnership. I don't want to lay in my bed and I'm not happy and I don't want to talk to my husband. I don't know how people do that. I can't do it. But Ladies, your man wants to be honored. He should feel like a king. My husband would go to work, and one of the things I would do, because I know he worked hard to take care of the family, Michael is a witness. Sam would be home. Even when Sam wasn't home, Michael was here as my son. We talk all the time, and, we would watch movies with the kids. He would help them with homework, and I thank you for that, Michael. But he's a witness that before my husband came home, 2 hours before, I begin to make sure everything is clean, the kids are in bed, candles are lit, and jazz or worship, whatever I wanted to listen to, was on when he came home, had his stuff ready for his shower. He just should feel like a king in his home, and a lady should feel like a queen. But I'll give you a secret, and I'm going to give you this one free. If you make him feel like a king, trust me, you have no problems, because he's going to respect you and honor you too. Why? Because you made sure he's good. The third one is trust. Ooh, trust. And this is the hardest of all, because if you have ever been let down, or you've been let down or disappointed in relationships, and it's hard to reconstruct trust. My husband had this thing that he used to tell the church: trust is easy. I think he said easy receive. I can't remember it, but it was good. He was letting us know that it's easy to trust somebody, but once you lose that trust, once they do something to cause you to have lack of trust, it's hard regaining it. And it's true. It's difficult to trust when there's been infidelities or broken promises or bad intentions, frustrated hopes. It makes it difficult to have confidence in a person. You have to trust, even though you have no guarantee that they will never let you down again. In a marriage, you will find yourself trusting again. But guess what? The one who made the mistake, you have to work. Yes, you do. If you had messed with another man or woman outside of your relationship, then it will be healthy when you go out and you stayed 2 hours to call your wife and say, baby, I'm good. I'm just with my boy at the bar. Whatever it is that you do, let her know I'm good. And when she calls you, pick up the phone or text, I love you. You have to work. You have to work a little harder to be proven. And it's okay. You made the mistake, so let's work. But in marriage, when things happen to cause you to lose trust in your partner, you have to forgive. And but when you say to your spouse, I forgive, really let it go in order to sincerely move forward. Because a lot of times, this is what I used to do. They say, okay, I'm sorry. And then I'll be like, okay, and then things will go, as usual. We still together. We still doing everything, our daily things together, and things running smooth. And then soon as something happened that I do not like, guess what? The 5 or 6 things that you have forgiven them for, you bring that up too. So you really have not forgiven. You have not forgiven, because guess what? You haven't forgotten. I know somebody say, no, I don't agree with that, but I tell you, I beg to differ, because when you forgive, that means you're saying, you know what, I accept it. But when they forgive you, whoever made the mistake or whoever had disappointed their spouse, it's really your job to make sure they feel safe.